Welcome back to Mental Mismanagement with your host, Ashley Burkeen and
Pat Fitzgerald.
All right. And today we have a treat for you. We have a guest in-house in the studio. We are going to be talking about my personal mental mismanagement and what better guest to have on to discuss that and that dynamic in business. My business partner and my life partner, my husband, Ryan Burkeen.
Yeah.
Also one of Patrick's really great friends. So
as he says.
Well,
yeah.
We've talked about it.
So we're going to go ahead and let Ryan in the studio. Ryan, hello.
Hello.
Hi. I like how Patrick's between us like
Oh,
always.
man. Look at Ryan. Man, you look like so stiff and like proper, and you should have a suit on right now, man.
Never.
Your posture is impeccable.
It's because I'm stiff and working out for an hour.
All right.
Where?
2 days ago.
I was going to say it wasn't today.
Literally, he's made like 1,000 comments. My legs hurt. He'll go, what do we do on Friday? Legs again? I hope not legs. I go, no, we're doing deadlifts. He's like, what?
Yeah.
So good for you though, babe.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in. So Ryan, like I said, is my husband. Patrick's really good friend. Patrick's on the screen in the middle of the two of us, as always. Where's place?
Somebody has to come between you two. Might as well be me.
And Ryan's also my business partner in both of our businesses. He is the talent. I just know some business knowledge, and he lets me do some design work occasionally, right?
Right.
But Ryan, the podcast Patrick and I started, as you know, because you're his friend and my husband, is mental mismanagement, because we wanted to talk about the mental reality that comes with business, if that is you are diagnosed with mental illnesses or you just struggle with mental health stuff. And then, of course, the mental stuff that comes with business already, right? So we're probably going to have conversations and ask you questions about your experiences with me.
It's going to make me uncomfortable.
Maybe a little.
Yes.
It's all right.
And then we'll do the same thing with Ashley by herself, and then we'll have both of you on, because I feel like that would be a treat.
Oh, that's going to, yeah. If she does it.
Might have to watch that one.
She'll do it. She'll love doing it. So
Yeah, she will.
Live.
Patrick, since you are the outsider of the duo, why don't you ask the questions that you want to know? Because
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
So we've talked in the past about my wife is very A-type, everything is prim, proper, it's in its place, everything's in order all the time, and I'm very whatever the other one is. It's just whatever. I'll fix it. I'll get to it. It'll work out. I'm not worried about it. That type of attitude, right?
Figure it out when I get to it.
I figure it out when I get to it, right? And you are more like my wife. You're more everything has its place. Everything goes in a certain order. Where Ashley, your wife, is more like me. So what is that like coming from your side dealing with somebody that is not as organized as you?
I would say she's more organized in certain areas of life, and I'm more organized in
Sure.
areas of the other life. How do I deal with it? I just deal with it, man. It's got to. I know. I understand. I more understand her mental. I'm more of aware of her mental illness, anguish.
Yeah.
More now that I didn't really understand it until I kind of experienced something this year.
Sure. So
never understood it. I still don't understand it fully, but
and that's probably one of the hardest things, being on the other side, having the mental disabilities or mental anguish or mental just even right now, trying to get the thoughts out of my head. I've got 8,000 thoughts right there, and I know exactly what I want to say, and for some reason they do not connect to my mouth. But dealing with something like that and learning, not having to deal with it yourself, obviously, but having to learn how to deal with somebody that's dealing with it. What is that like from your point of view?
it took a long time for me to understand and how to deal with it. Like sometimes she just talks out loud, and I think she's directing stuff towards me, and it's just her talking out loud, and I take it personally.
Sure.
And we finally.
What, she call you names and stuff?
No, just like just talking.
Yeah.
And I take it that she's talking to me directly,
Right.
and really she's just
trying to get it out of her head.
right.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that. So I was taking it personally, and then I would, we would lash out at each other.
Sure.
like,
Sure.
partners do.
Yeah.
And then,
Just like normal partners would do. Now, then add the mental side of it to it, where one isn't the same as the other. Right. You're not on the same level. You're not on the same wavelength at that point. So what one is thinking, oh my God, she's saying this about me. This is personal. And in the whole time, she's not even thinking about you.
Right. That's what
she doesn't even know you're there.
Yeah.
Not until recently, then I was like, are you talking about me? She's like, no. Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Or he'll go, that's not to me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm just venting out loud to the universe.
Yeah.
So that's helped a lot, knowing that.
Just being open about it.
Right.
And realizing, okay, she's not mad at me. She's just trying to get this out of her head.
Right.
Yeah.
It only took, 13 years for me to figure that out.
But to your credit, like, we don't even understand our mental illnesses half the time, and I've done a lot of research. I've taken classes. I've been to, done all the things, and I don't even understand it sometimes. Like, I'm more self-aware of like when a moment's happening for me.
Sure.
But I still don't know why it's happening to me. And
we
Ryan,
may never.
No, and so like, I have to give him credit. Like, he's so patient, and a piece of my mental illness, not on the business side, but on the other side, like when you say, are you more organized? We both have ADHD.
Sure.
And so neither one of us are organized in that sense. But I also, with ADHD, have depression, anxiety, and that makes a huge mess. Like, I'm a clutter freak, and because of my traumas, I have an attachment to things. And so like, I always have too much stuff, and there's a mess everywhere. And like recently he was like, let's work on this together. I'm going to help you. So instead of just like waiting and anticipating for me to clean it, because he knows eventually I'll get to it.
Right.
It doesn't last very long, but he does eventually get to it. But this time he was just kind of like, let's do it together. And that was huge for me, because it was like, okay, he notices it.
You were okay with it?
Yeah, he had no peace in making the mess, but he's here to support me and help me. He gets that, like,
that's pretty cool.
He shows me a lot of grace in that end. As far as the business side of things, though, I'm probably more organized in the business side of things.
Sure.
Which is crazy, because I am not in any other aspect of my life. So when people say things like, how you do one thing, how you do everything, I get super offended by that, because I'm like, that's not true. Because if that were true, I would not be successful in business. But my energy all goes to the structure and the organization of business and that part of my life. And so at home, that's my safe space. And I'm just going to
wash your hands and walk away.
wash my hands of it and walk away. Where his ADHD, he's just not on time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't suffer from that, because the anxiety kicks in. So I have to be 30 minutes early everywhere.
Not me. I'll get there. You'll see me when I get there. It's fine.
Yeah. See, so the dynamics have been different in business on that end, but also like when you have ADHD, or any mental illness, not one size fits all. Especially men and women are also different. So sometimes when we're later running behind, I'll be like, why can't you? I can get it together. Why can't you get it together? So it's been interesting.
Who's the first one out of bed in the morning?
Me.
You
Ashley.
are?
Yeah,
Ashley?
100%.
Yeah.
Unless I'm still up.
Okay, so hang on a second. So I want to talk about that, okay? So there's been times where it'd be 3:00 in the morning and you're still awake, or I'll call you at 8:00 in the next morning and you're like, man, I haven't been to bed yet. Mm-hmm. And it's all because you're up doing work stuff. I mean, you're constantly, see, that's the other side of all of this, is that even though you may not suffer from the anxiety portion of the mental side of things like we do, you have that ADHD where you can get on a kick and all of a sudden you have to see it through. It's a whole different form of that ADHD where it's like you hyper focus on something.
Yeah.
See, I have the same thing. So I'll hyper focus on something, and before I know it, it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm still working out in the shop. My wife's like, "Where you been?"
Yeah.
And she's asleep. The kids are asleep, and she wakes up and comes out and starts yelling at me. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But you lose track of time. You forget what you're actually supposed to be doing because you get so sidetracked and so hyper focused. Right. I really like that word, hyper focused.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good word.
It goes
right?
with ADHD well, yeah.
Right.
I guess that's the hyperactivity disorder portion of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what is it that's going through you at that point? I mean, because eventually you crash, right? Yeah. I mean, you just crash and you're out for a couple days.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, okay, Ryan must have stayed up too late last week because he's out for this week. So
right. It's more like, and I just feel like I can focus more after 5:00 because my phone quits ringing. I don't have to answer, the business side of stuff shuts down, so I can put all my focus on what I need to get done. And I just want to get it done because
So you're ready to go when business closes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, see, I'm the exact same way. And everybody here makes fun of me of it. The girls in the office, the guys out in the field, they're like, man, 3 o'clock, you show up on a job site, you're ready to start swinging hammers. Right. I'm like, bro, that's because things are finally quieting down in my head. I can think.
Right. That's what my guys got. Like on Friday, Jeremy just made one of our guys, Jeremy. He's like, man, Friday, it's every Friday. You show up at 3 and you want to get shit done and we're ready to go home. I'm like, right. I'm sorry, I'll try to fix that. But,
there's not much you can do about it.
Right. It's I don't get it.
And then it's the worst because you'll get there and you'll see one little thing, you'll be like, oh, I'll fix that real quick. Right. And that turns into another thing and then another thing. And the guys are standing there at 4:30, 5 o'clock going, bro, I'm not putting another truss up today, man. This is ridiculous. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, because
why did you start tearing shingles off the roof at 3 o'clock? Well,
so we had to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my guys yell at me a lot about that sometimes. It's. So
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not the only one, and that's the whole point to bringing this up is that there's some of you that are listening to this going, oh my God, this is me, or oh my God, this is my husband.
Right.
And the whole point to Ashley and I doing this is so that we get this out there that you're not the only ones out there dealing with this situation.
Yeah.
There are a lot of business owners, a lot of couples, a lot of family members that are like, I can't get my son to focus on this. Well, maybe he just doesn't like what you're trying to get him to focus on.
Yeah.
Right. If you have ADHD or you have these mental, you mismanage your mental things, you're not going to do what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You're just not. No matter how much you get forced to do it, you're just not going to do it. You're going to be like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Until you find what you're passionate about, everything else is just like, whatever. I'll get to it when I do.
Right.
Well, I want to make it very, very clear that you should not be staying up for 24 hours running your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I can't. I don't. I got too many. I got littles at the house. Even though about 5 o'clock I want to work, it runs out by about 7 and I'm done. I'm like, you know what? I had a good 2-hour run here. I'm going to bed.
Well, I'm not saying, so there's two type of people, I think, right? And you will hear some entrepreneurs get on stage and they'll say, if you're not staying up till 3 a.m, you're not successful. I find that to not be true because I don't stay up till 3 a.m. and I'm successful, right? I have to, and it's specifically with people that have mental illness, you have to know your boundaries and your limitations. And Hay and I went around, you can comment on this. Sometimes we still go around. We're like, I have business hours. Yeah. And after 5 o'clock, I'm not available to anyone. You may even see me sit on the couch or like watch while I'm cooking dinner or watch TV or whatever. I have got to mentally decompress and not do work. Otherwise, the next day I'm crap. If I ever did what he did, I don't know how he does it. He's a champion. He's a monster of beast mode.
I know.
I could never do what he does. I would be crazy. You would not want to deal with me at 8 a.m. calling me because I would have the worst.
My mind and my body shuts down.
Yes.
I mean, literally will just, it will unplug itself and be like, nah, we're done.
Yeah.
Without any warning to me. Yes. I could be in the middle of chewing dinner and it'd just be like, nope, time to sleep.
Yes. And then with like the ADHD thing, like you already, a symptom of that is you are frustrated and you can tend to snap on people. You lose patience. So that's already a sign of that. So then you're sleep deprived, your brain's working a half mass and you have to go full brain mass. Yeah. I mean, you're dead in the water. I'm a vicious, terrible person. I will own the size. You're being recorded, by the way. But
Ryan is just like suspiciously not saying anything over there.
It's okay.
He's just like, just keep talking. Yeah.
This is being real, and I'm being transparent about it. I am nuts. Now, when I say you shouldn't be staying up 24 hours, I mean, that's when he will do like a 24-hour binger where he's awake and then he crashes. And I feel for him because he works so hard and you know what I mean? So there's that side of it. Now, on the days that I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock because I need the time. And he's up in the office until 2 a.m. That's normal for business owners, I feel like, absolutely. Right? Where me, I'm waking up at 4, maybe 5 at the latest and getting my day started. So we're doing the same thing and working the same amount of hours. It's just completely opposite.
Well, what time do you wake up?
Depends. 7, 8.
7, 8.
It's going off at 6.
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 6. I'm usually, like the office opens up at 8. Right. You know, my wife's up. She's got the kids. I say this lovingly, trust me. She's getting the kids ready. She's getting herself ready. I'm helping from the bed because I'm still laying in bed. I'm awake. I'm doing what I need to do, but I physically don't feel like I can even get out of bed before 7 o'clock half the time.
Right. Like
It's-
feels like my brain doesn't
Yes.
start working. till
Like
10
it
or
won't
11
tell
or
my
12.
legs to get up.
Yeah.
Oh, my body will get up, but my head won't.
Well, and I've had those days too, yeah. But then like even this morning, I was like, you know what? I don't need to be at the office for any reason. I'm going to sleep in. Thank God my wife takes kids to school in the morning because she got up, went to work, and did her thing. And I'm like, I'll be there around 9:30.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And so that's how my morning started. But there are times where, and it's happened to me very recently, where several days in a row, I'll wake up at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up. I am like wide awake, can't fall back asleep, but I can't get out of bed. Like I'm stuck in this like weird,
Depression almost.
no, because I'm not depressed. I'm super happy. I'm excited to do everything, but my body won't function.
Oh, I've
Like-
never been in that state.
Yeah, I just don't want to get up, and I know I need to get up, but then I'm like, you know what? I'll just turn the TV on and let's start relaxing my mind a little bit more. You know, I have something going on the back, but that's just the mental side of things. I just start getting like, and it could be anything that wakes me up. It could just be anything from hey, did I park the side by side in the garage last night, or is it sitting outside? And then I'll worry about it, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Does it depend on what day of the week it is, or
No,
is
it
just
really
pretty
doesn't.
sporadic?
It's totally sporadic. Yeah, totally sporadic.
What's weird about me is like I have trouble waking up for some reason during the work week. On a Saturday, I can wake up at, like when we went on that retreat, I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
I used to be that way.
ready to go. I'm like, what the? Well, me too. When I used to work for somebody else and I
That's
had
exactly
to
when
be somewhere,
Yeah.
I would wake up at 5:30, however long it takes. If it takes 45 minutes to drive, I'm waking up at 6.
Yeah.
Leaving by 6:15, getting there at 7.
Exactly.
And now it's, I don't have anything on my schedule till.
So do you
9
find
or
it
11.
harder being a business owner and working for your own and on your own time to get up and actually be motivated to go do something?
Yes, especially if there's nothing that I have to.
There's nothing pressing at that moment. Right. Yeah.
Like if there's something I have to do, I'll be there almost on time.
See, and it's funny because you'll hear a lot of entrepreneurs and people talking. You'll hear a lot of people talking about, if you're not up by the crack of dawn, you're wasting all this time. You're not making money. You're not doing this. And it's like, yeah, for some people.
Right. We have
But
team members that are making
We have
money.
team members. We have people that we rely on. We have all this other stuff going. And while they're there from 8 to 4 doing their job, they don't take it home with them.
Right.
We may not show up till 9 o'clock, but I'm still working till midnight in my head
Right.
with everything else that's going on. So just because I don't show up at 6 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean I'm not working. It just means it's taking me that much time to decompress from the night before or from the day before.
Right.
So yeah, I was always wondering about that because I'm the same way. It's like I'm not going to get up at 6.
Wait, that's why Ashley she decompresses before you go to sleep, correct?
Yeah.
I don't decompress, and like even in bed, I can lay there for 5 hours staring at the ceiling, and my mind just
Oh yeah,
going and going.
I'm the same way.
And yeah, that's what keeps me awake.
Yep.
Basically, it's like, oh, did I do this? Oh, I got this to do on, did I buy that or did
It's so bad.
Yeah. Like, she's like, I thought you were in bed last. I was like, I was in bed for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't get up.
I finally just got up.
I got up at 4 and went in the office.
Yeah, like when my alarm goes off, like 5, like 4:30 is the first one, but 5, right? And he's gone, and I'm like, okay, well I know he didn't get up right now, right? I know he didn't get up before me. I know he got up hours ago, and he.
Or hasn't come to bed yet because he's out there
Yeah.
at the office.
Which typically I'll ask him like, are you coming to bed at night or not? So I'm prepared because for my mental illness, I need him there. Like he's my comfort, right? So I would like to go to bed with him. I get the business stuff though. Like luckily I'm in the business with him. So I understand that like for his own mental health, if he feels he needs to get stuff done, he needs to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Now, is there a easier way
Sure.
after some habits are formed, right? Sure. But like, I'm not going to harp on him for feeling the need to get things done when I'm asleep with my mouth open and he's staring at the ceiling. Like, do you mean like
That's some of the reasons I can't sleep at night.
Oh, here we go with this now.
Never.
I'm joking.
But he will come in. I mean, he did the other night. I think I'm half asleep, and he comes in. He's like, I think it's like 11 o'clock at night. He's like, hey, the insurance said this. And I think I'm talk about mean. You want to see like my head spin around my shoulders, like The Exorcist. Like I was like, not now. It's 11 o'clock. Like I'm not even comprehending what you're saying. If you're talking business to me right now in this state, won't remember it tomorrow.
You're catatonic at that point.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing this right now. So I mean that's an ongoing thing. That was recently.
Oh yeah, just stuff. It was last night.
See, I didn't remember what it was.
Last night.
Yeah.
Stuff just pops in my head, and if I don't say it, then I forget. And then
Now, see, at my house, we've kind of come to an understanding when we get in bed, we're done talking about work.
Oh, 100%.
We're done. We just shut it down. And every now and then, one of us will be like, hey, did you do this? And the other one will be like, no.
Yeah.
But we have to still get it out.
right. Well, that actually wasn't a work thing.
No, but I mean, he will say that now because I said to him, I don't want to talk about it. We used to have that rule. We don't talk about it in bed, right?
Yeah.
We've even tried when you get home, you have 10 minutes to talk about work and you're not talking about it. However, we have a home office and we don't come home at the same times.
Yeah.
So the business really does. That's our life. And like I said, our kids are involved in that. So the business doesn't ever really, like, we're never like, oh, it's about the business and not our marriage. Or I think one of the happiest parts, not happiest, but one of the key elements of our marriage is that we're entrepreneurs and we love that. And we get to do that together. That's a big part of our relationship. So other people that don't have that same dynamic, right? If you're not in business with your entrepreneur spouse, that may be a different story for them. But for me, I love entrepreneurship. He's a great entrepreneur.
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome.
And I love that about him. He loves that about me. I mean, when we were dating, I was a single mom when I met him, and I was not an entrepreneur, but I was working my tail end off supporting myself. And he had made a comment one time, like, one of the hottest things about me was that I was independent and had my own money and made my own.
Of course.
So if I lost that, and there was a point, I depend on him way more than I should, but that's because he lets me. But like,
I kind of depend on him too.
you know what I mean? Like I'm able to relax because I have somebody like him. But I think if I were just to kind of like bum off him and
it wouldn't be the same.
No, it wouldn't be the same. I don't think he would be attracted to me in that way. So it works for us in that sense. But we are very different when it comes to our ideology on business times and sleep and rest and, those kind of things.
Definitely. Like, I just recently could shut my mind off on the weekend. Like,
Really?
yeah, like my mind doesn't think about business. Shuts off about 5.
Like you finally were able to shut that door and say, okay, I'm not reopening this until Monday.
No, Sunday night when I lay down to go to bed is when it all comes.
Really?
Yeah.
So it doesn't even wait till Monday. It's like, hey, we're here.
Soon as I get in bed, dude, like I could be.
You start thinking about what's going on the next
couch,
day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we go upstairs and lay in bed, totally awake.
Yeah.
Fucking mind just, can I curse? Yeah. Anyway.
So
Yep.
we get it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
We can Uncle Joey it and cut it out.
Frick it. Freak it. Uncle Joey? Oh, yeah. Uncle Joe.
Yeah, I'm like, on Sunday, don't text, email, call me. Like my day starts on Monday. On Friday, I already know what I have to do on Monday. I'm not even looking on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I'll get texts from some business owners and they'll be like, in preparation for tomorrow, girl, I prepared on Friday. Like these are my 3 days for me and my animals and my family. See you Monday, right?
A lot of animals.
Yeah. So
Let's talk about that for a second.
Which one?
The animals, Ryan.
Damn.
What is it? Okay. So my wife, let's just preface this with something real quick. My wife is a horse girl. 100%
I could tell.
horse girl. What? I'm not sure how to take that.
You got horses.
Yeah, okay. So
And a horse trailer.
So yeah, exactly.
Nice horse trailer.
But anyway, I know what it's like to live with livestock, live with the animals and things like that, right? And in a way, that's her kind of oasis. That gets
right
out of her mental state and gets her into a good place and everything else.
Right.
So your wife actually has animals.
Yeah.
Chickens, goats, a pig.
Yep.
Ducks.
In the house, by the way. Pig in the house.
He's only in the house right now. It's too cool.
He's a pig. You know that, right?
I know. He's cleaner than the dogs. Okay.
That
and
I
two
actually
puppies.
believe.
And two
Sometimes.
puppies.
And two puppies, right. Yeah, I don't remember that. We just went and picked them up. So what is that like, dealing with Okay, so you're dealing with your mental side of things already, right? Your ADHD. You're dealing with, not knowing when or how to shut off your brain sometimes and stuff like that. So not only do you have that, but now you have a farm full of animals and all this chaos going on at the same time. How do you shut some of that off? Or do you?
No. I'm used to living in chaos. Just
Well, I guess okay. So
not like chaos. Like,
no, for people to understand chaos, what he's talking about, the construction world, no matter what, we're in chaos.
Yeah,
It is complete chaos.
nothing goes as planned.
No, and what when we start to work on our own home, and we everybody's laughing, and we think, okay, this is only going to take me a week. I'm going to knock this thing out, and we'll be moving on. 6 months later,
Right.
we've got like half of it done for a week's worth of job because we literally will start something and then we'll stop. And then this gets interrupted and then this happens and then that happens and then work takes on and I can't get the guys back over here for 3 more weeks. And it's like, what in the world just happened? I almost dread even doing anything at my own house. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I'll hire a different contractor, I think.
Yeah, and then because then even when you come home, you got to look at it. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I did half of that. I got half of that. When am I ever going to get it done?
And then you're not motivated to do it because you've been out working all day anyway. You're working on somebody else's home. You don't want to come home and work on your own home.
No.
Anyway, we got sidetracked. So back to what I was saying is how do you take all that and decompress or does that help you decompress, having those extra distractions and things like that?
The animals really don't distract me. She's a champ, man. She takes care of the animals.
That's awesome.
I help a little bit. Very little
He
bit.
builds their houses.
I build their houses.
You build their houses.
I don't, I'll, if she asks me to help, I'll help. But that's, that helps her, helps her mental side of stuff. So
yeah,
I don't mind them.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll help us.
Yeah. Well, it's like me and my Ashley. I mean, I don't mind it because I know that soothes her brain.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing with you.
Right. It's probably like the same thing. Like your thing to get away from stuff is working on your bikes and working in the garage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
same idea.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
What's your thing, Ryan?
Yeah. What is it? What opens you up at the end of the day? What when you're done with all your work, when you're trying to decompress, like you said, mine, I'm going to go out to the shop. I'm going to tinker with, the 71 Ford, or I'm going to go tinker with the side-by-sides and the four-wheelers and get something running and just have fun and maybe go do something stupid for a half an hour on it,
That's basically, yeah. I mean, just doing something that I want to do, really. It really don't matter what it is. Because basically, you're doing stuff all day long for other people.
Yeah, and that's
during work.
That's the crazy part. I'm glad you said that. Most people don't understand that you think as a business owner, you think, oh my gosh, you're just raking in all this money. You don't have anything to worry about.
Right. Do what you want all day. No, we're not doing. We're doing what we need to do.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing stuff for other people.
Right.
90% of the time it's for somebody else. It's not even for us.
Right.
And that's why I said, when you think about getting into working on your own home, you're like preparing a certain amount of time. You're like, I can't just jump into this. I've got to like set up out on the schedule and make sure that my guys can do this. And then it still gets thrown to the wayside in the end because another customer needed something. So all of a sudden now your stuff gets put on the back burner. And what you started that should have only taken a week is now 6 months in and you're like, well, maybe I'll get it done.
Right. And typically we're going to do that stuff after work or on the weekends.
Exactly.
And then eventually we get tired of working on the damn weekends, and we need to relax. I can go about 3 months straight working. I figured out, but not like working consistently.
Yeah,
because I used to do it for somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, we all did it for somebody else at some point.
Like I've always worked long hours. Like even in the union, I'd go out of town and work 16-hour shifts, and sometimes I'd work third shift after that 16-hour shift. So I've always worked. And liked work. I like money.
Oh, we all do. I mean,
but
that's what makes you a great business owner because you're willing to sacrifice and do what you need to do.
Right.
I mean, for people to say, the phrase I hate the most is the, oh, it must be nice. Right? Yeah. Bull.
If it was nice, everybody'd be doing it.
No, what you're not seeing, okay, you may be seeing, me and Ryan out on the trails and our side-by-sides and think, oh, it must be nice. They're rich or they're whatever. No. Do you realize what it took for us to even get to that point?
Right.
It's like, dude, I've sacrificed and eaten ramen noodles and mac and cheese so that I knew that my guys got paid before I got paid.
Right.
And then now as the business has grown, I'm reaping some of the benefits from it. But the hard work that has gone into it isn't what you're seeing. Right. You're seeing the rewards that I've gotten.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nice getting to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what most people don't understand.
Or mental.
Oh my God. The mental anguish that you go through just simply getting to that point. Am I good enough? Am I doing it right? Do I have enough? Is it big enough? Is it small enough? Is the color right? You go through everything and it doesn't stop.
Right.
Well, and so back to your comment of like, I like to work. And Patrick and I talked about this. So when we did the mock podcast, and we should have recorded that, but
I know.
This came up in that where I said there's times in my life, like since I've been an entrepreneur, where my mindset has changed, where if I see a now hiring sign, no matter what it is, it could be fast food, it could be a bank, whatever it is, I always see a now hiring sign. I'm always like, I can do that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could do anything because I've made it through the mental capacity it takes to be an entrepreneur and a successful one, right? And so, see, this is my ADHD. Pause.
What'd you pause on?
Forgot my train of thought.
What about thinking of other stuff that you can be doing other than being an entrepreneur? Yeah,
but what did I say? You made a comment about, liking to work. Okay.
Liking to work.
That's my ADHD. I can be like full in it and just like.
Leave it run. Yeah. That's the whole point. You got to leave it run.
This is true. Okay, so you had mentioned that you like to work, right? And I think that that's true. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of people will be like a workaholic, but Ryan.
Maybe not work, maybe be productive.
Yeah, like Ryan always says we do. I remember being like on Sundays, we used to just lay on the couch and just like binge Netflix or whatever. And he would have the biggest, you could tell just the turmoil in his body that he did nothing that day. And he'll be like, I'm going to get up and go cut the grass. I'm like, how many times are you going to cut the grass this weekend? Like, why do you have to just lay here and like do nothing? You've earned and deserved it, right?
Because he's laying there going, I can hear the grass growing.
Yes.
Right, because there's all these other things that I could have been doing, that
and you feel guilty about it, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know his mental, well, and a part of that, we used to brag that we never we hadn't taken a vacation in 9 years, right? And it used to be like we used to wear it like a badge of honor. Like we haven't.
I'm kind of going on that.
See, no, it's so bad. So, and I remember my business coach saying to me one time, like, and you think that's something to brag about?
Right.
Like,
after you said that, no,
right?
Not really.
Well, what did it for us? I think we had in the mindset, plus you're told in the entrepreneur, right? Every inspirational quote that you hear is like, you work hard, then, you sweat equity or whatever. And that's very true. But you also mentally for sure, but also for your family dynamic, you have to take time for you and reward yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Not just time for you. Time for you could be walking around your yard, whatever, working in your garage. Right.
Yeah.
But also reward yourself. You made money. You helped put food on other people's tables by supplying jobs for people or offering jobs for people, right? It is your turn to relax, dude. Like go have a pina colada. And our first vacation in 9 years was to Jamaica and we were forced to go. I was a bridesmaid at my best friend's wedding.
Oh, wow.
And I remember saying to him, like, we're only going to go for 4 days. Right.
Yeah.
And it was just her wedding weekend. And you don't have to go, but I'm going. I have just my best friend.
Right.
So we get down there. We literally only booked for the 4 days. And what did we end up doing, babe?
Staying 3 extra days.
Yeah, we extended our stay for 3 extra days because it was our first vacation in 9 years. And he was like, man, this is nice. Like they have it handled.
Used to this.
Right? Nobody died. Nothing blew up while I was gone.
Right.
Anything that did go wrong was figure outable when I got back, And so then what now? Now we are the VIP for Secrets. Like we're part of their VIP preferred club and we go on a vacation once every single year. But prior to that, our vacations would be going camping and going riding 4-wheelers, which now we do that
We do it again.
Right. We do that and do it again consistently. And then we also go on vacation.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. During the, you say that, and I didn't even think about that. You said you talk about going on vacation, and automatically when you hear vacation, you think somewhere far away for a long time, blah, blah, blah. But come summertime, from about April to October, every month we're out four-wheeling for a weekend or two.
Yeah. Right.
So to say we don't go on vacation during the summer, I mean, we actually probably vacation more than most people if you think about it.
Well, you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to break the bank either, right?
Yeah, more people probably think vacation is going to the beach, going to a different, doing.
No, I'd rather go trail riding, and rock climbing, and all that cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we should go to Colorado and do that or something.
Oh,
I've been trying to go to Colorado for 13 years. So if you
decide
to go,
Utah. Sorry.
Okay, so now.
You're good too far away from
Then we get into the whole mental thing where I can't go anywhere.
Well, we're going to help you with that.
Yeah, I know we are. You
were going to go to Tennessee with me, and I didn't even think about it until we were driving down there. I was like, holy shit.
No, that's a one-day trip. I'm back in the same day. Same night, next day.
I didn't think about it till me and her were driving down there. I was like, holy shit. I forgot about that. It
gives me severe anxiety to leave.
And I was like, oh, he was actually going to go with me to, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I didn't think,
anytime.
We don't think about, or I don't.
Oh, of course not. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to either.
Right.
And that's the crazy part about it is that, you can, and this is why we're doing this, because you can look at somebody and think, oh my God, they got it so good, so easy. But behind the curtain, what's going on in their mind, their mental capacity. I mean, and we're going to get into it in a couple different episodes that we have that talking about just the whether you want to get into like the suicide, side of things and what that's like. I mean, we'll get into that eventually, but it's just the mental state of mind that most people are in. They show this cool, calm, and collective side to everybody, when in reality they are like dark and disturbed on the inside.
Yeah. And people really don't know, Patrick. Like, I would have never known that if your wife wouldn't have told me that about you first.
Sure.
And then other conversations you and I had around the bonfire at your house, right?
Yeah.
And I used to get that a lot. Like, when people would find out I had anxiety, because I don't know a stranger. Let's be real. I can talk to anybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like, understand this. When I leave our conversation, right, it could be a gas station attendant, I am spending the next 20 minutes debriefing the conversation of, did I make a weird face?
Analyzing
Did I say
thing.
that word right? Was that vocabulary word? Like, I'm analyzing. Yeah. They stopped thinking about me probably before I was done talking, because I was talking too much. Do you know what I mean? So, like, when people find out I have anxiety, they would be shook by it. And be like,
absolutely.
Really? You? And I'm like, yes, you have no idea. Like, this is one person. But when I get home and I unzip that outer shell, I am in panic mode.
I found out just recently that one of my guys that works for me suffers from severe anxiety, and I never in a million years would have guessed it. And it was like, even up to today, he was sitting in my office having a panic attack, and I'm like, not in a million years. Yeah. And he had no idea that I was suffered from the same thing, and all of a sudden, it's like this big giant weight is lifted off everybody's shoulders that they're like, oh my God, I'm normal.
Yeah.
This actually does happen to people. And that's why we're doing this. We're trying to bring this awareness out there that you're not the only one.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's just switch gears.
First, second.
I don't have a gear switching like sound or something.
Only because we have you here, and when you and Ashley are here, I want to talk more about the dynamics of both relationships. And I think we'll get into that conversation with Patrick by default, just when we talk about ours.
That's usually what happens.
But since you're both here, and Ryan, if you're okay sharing this, if not, I can cut that. Remember, I got to edit this. But if you're okay with sharing this, Patrick's obviously one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast with him is because he's the male version of me in more aspects than one. But he also is
not
honest.
Quite as pretty, I don't think. But I can tote my own.
But he is he's open about that. Like, he has struggles. I mean, the fact that he told me around a bonfire, like, that was huge. I felt in that moment like, wow, most men aren't vulnerable about that struggle specifically, because you guys are raised like not to have feelings, you know.
Keep it all in.
Well, we're looked down upon as we're failures if we don't show the strength and,
or like
we're
you're
supposed to be
weak.
the strong. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're weak and we're supposed to be strong and do all this. There's actually an artist named Dax that has a song. It's To Be a Man. Mm-hmm. And I encourage anybody to go out there and listen to that song. And it talks about the struggles what it's like in life for a man versus, and he doesn't necessarily say a woman or anything like that, but to be a man and in today's society and what it actually takes and the toll it takes on us, not just our bodies. I mean, men are rugged. We're utilitarian. We're built to be, the mule for everything, right?
Yeah.
Built to be abused.
We are literally built to be abused, where women are
Nurtured by nature.
exactly
Built to be loved.
Thank you. I didn't know where I was going with that, but yes. But he talks about that side of things, the mental side of things that men aren't allowed to show.
Yeah.
It's I don't know where I was going with that, but it's something I encourage everybody to listen to.
Well, it's just something men don't talk about to other men.
To men, to anybody.
To anybody.
Really.
Yeah, to anybody, really.
Yeah, I mean, because it's shown as a sign of weakness, and that's slowly going away the more that this stuff is out there. And just today versus 10 years ago, the mental awareness of things is a lot better than it ever was.
And I think too, like people like you, Patrick, specifically, and Ryan, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because kind of what you went through this year, right? Mm-hmm. But if people like you guys are successful in business, right, and you guys are talking about this, and then you're also like your actions and the outcome of your businesses is kind of speaking for themselves. Like you are great husbands and fathers and businessmen and successful at that, and you also have mental illnesses or mental struggles. I think if more guys can approach it that way, you don't look weak at all. You're like, this is who I am. This is something that I have to conquer every single day. And when I first started being open and honest about my mental illnesses on social media, surprisingly, it was more men than women that would DM me and be like, I just want to thank you for speaking about this. I appreciate it. Not a lot of people have the confidence to do this. And I hope one day I can share my story too. And that was mostly men that I had no idea were struggling, that I was actually shocked by most of them that were reaching out. So
men
Down.
Yeah.
Keep it down there.
We're exactly. We're told to shove it down deep and don't worry about it. It'll go away eventually.
Yeah.
And the way I used to talk about it and tell everybody is like, I used to say the normal people. Yeah. And anymore, I think if you're not on medication, you're not part of the normal team.
What's wrong with you? You don't take nothing?
Yeah, exactly. But, a person's brain is supposed to be able to take information in. You're supposed to process it and then get rid of it, dump it, be done with it, right? You don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
My brain will take information in, I'll process it, and then I'll file it. And then I'll open that file back up 55 more times before I go to bed that night.
Yeah.
And then 10 million times during the next year and just dwell on it over and over and over and over again. The problem is that that's every piece of information that goes into my head.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of it. And eventually it just fills everything up so much that there's no room for more information. Yeah. And then you have that moment where you just break down.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of purge and just get rid of everything. You're like, you know what? I'm starting over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's different ways people purge, and there's not good ways.
Right.
None of it is a good way.
Right.
So if you're feeling that way, go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Go talk to the mailman.
Yeah.
I guarantee there is somebody in your circle that wants to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Or is dealing with it, or is willing to help you through it. We have a program at our company where they can call a hotline number, basically. It's an employee assistance program. So they can call in this completely 100% confidential. I don't even know that they call. It has nothing to do with me or anything. It's completely free to all my employees that if they're struggling in any way, whether it's financial help they need, alcohol or drug abuse, or heck yeah, I'm drinking too much and you need a ride home. You could literally call this and instead of going home, drinking and driving or whatever it is, you can make that decision, say, you know what, I need a driver. And they will send a driver out for you.
So good.
Okay. So they have counselors, they have all that stuff. And I have pushed every one of my guys, every one of my girls. If you need this, it's here. Mm-hmm. And it's because I know what it's like to go through this. So if you don't want to talk to me, which you don't have to, I'm here to listen.
Yeah.
All the time I'm here to listen, whatever it is. You can call this number who you don't know and they don't know you, but they'll help you through it.
Yeah.
You know, so I encourage everybody, no matter what age you are or what you're doing, talk to somebody, talk to your parents, talk to your neighbor, talk to your mailman, talk to your dog. Believe it or not, I'm not lying. Believe it or not, your dog will listen to you and they are happy to listen to you.
Yeah. And they're not going to give you their opinion.
No. But you know what? They're going to love you no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
But talk to somebody.
Yeah, definitely talk to somebody. And I think for you guys as men, okay, you're in this situation. Who would you reach out to and talk to?
Right now? Are you asking us a question?
Yeah. There was definitely a question mark at the end of that.
Depends on what it is.
Well, I mean, so who would be your ideal person? Who would, if you were just down in the dump, like the bomb moment, right? Tick, tick, boom. You shoved it down, and it needs to come out or you're going to go to the bar for the next 24 hours. Who do you guys?
My wife.
Yep.
My wife knows me better than anybody else in this world. Mm-hmm. And I don't even have to get to that tick, tick, bomb moment because she already sees the signs of me progressing to that. She's going to pull me in and have that meeting with me. Yeah. She's going to have that conversation long before I get to that, which I couldn't be more thankful about. But not everybody has that.
Right.
And not everybody knows when that tick, tick, boom moment happens. But it is. I like that you say it that way because it is a ticking time bomb the whole way through. So even if you think it's minor and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to bother somebody with this. It's not that big a deal. Right. Well, you know what? It's a big enough deal that you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you're questioning whether or not it's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you have that question like, it's not that big of a deal. Well, that's a big deal. I mean,
it's on your mind, right? Obviously, it's in the bothersome part of your mind. So
absolutely.
And guys, this is huge in the business arena and personal, right? Like when you're in business, even if you are not diagnosed, and I'll say that time and time again, you will go through moments in your business that are circumstantial, like mental health issues,
Absolutely.
right? Where you don't have it all together. And specifically in business, we will talk time and time again about the different dynamics of relationships that you have and clients and all that. I mean, that is heavy on you as a business owner. So what I would give advice for anybody, woman or male, is if you're having issues in your business with the mental health side of things, talk to another business owner. And
that's huge.
The business owner that complains and vents about their business to you, I guarantee you would love to soundboard with you and hear what you go through.
100%.
Because nobody relates to a business owner better than another business owner. Everybody else just doesn't get it. So I guarantee you, you're not alone in that feeling, and somebody's going to co-sign like, oh yeah, that day. Yeah, I've been there. Right. So Ryan, and we're going to expose you. No,
expose.
So
that's that kind of podcast. All right.
I need to stand up. No.
So Patrick kind of mentioned at the beginning, like, how do you deal with being married to a crazy person, right? And for those of you watching, they're like crazy, like that's a triggering thing for people with mental illness, especially women that have anxiety.
Embrace it.
Embrace it. Crazy is not bad. Crazy is fun, exciting, and lively. Okay, embrace it. Okay, we didn't say insane. We said crazy. You went through a little bit of your own mental health crisis this year, though.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. I don't know if I know about this.
No, not very many people do. I mean, I knew, like how you said, Ashley can pinpoint and she has that kind of, I saw it just kind of unravel.
Okay.
And so do you want to talk about that? I can edit it out if you feel like you don't like it.
What do you want me to talk about?
Just like,
well, I got about 50 questions, bro.
Yeah, you were experiencing it for the first time probably, right? How did you, just talk about the realness of like how it made you feel and then Patrick can ask you questions.
Get out of bed. Didn't want to do nothing, basically.
Do you know what triggered it?
No, I don't. We've had a lot of stuff go on in the past year, so it could have been multiple things. It could have been what she was going through.
Okay.
Could've
How long did it last?
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, I would say maybe it started in February, March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All through the summer? Just kind of this depressed mode.
Yeah.
See, and I never even knew that.
Right.
And we hung out all summer.
Yeah.
Man, we were 4-wheeling, riding. We were doing crazy stuff.
That helped me get out of it.
Oh, of course. I get that. But to even, and that brings to the point that not everybody shows it.
Right.
And like you said, being his wife, you could see the signs and you knew something was going on.
Yeah.
But me being your best, I didn't even know.
Yeah. I didn't.
You know?
It was just.
Again, guys, don't talk about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't want to say I felt like a failure,
Sure.
but I just didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to work on nothing. I didn't wanna work on
So
my
it's funny you
business. I
said
didn't wanna
that
do
because
shit.
around about the same time, and this is really weird that you bring that up and that actually happened to you, because right around the same time and throughout last summer, I was going through about the same thing. And it was, we were transitioning a bunch of stuff here at the office.
Yeah.
And bringing on new people and redoing some of our operations and different things like that. And I didn't really know where my place was at that point. You know, all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'm not really in sales anymore, and I'm not project managing, and I'm not, what am I? And I almost became lost. I became lost in my own business. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know where to go or what to run. And I started like going back inside and like dwelling back into my shell again. And I did the same thing. I pretty much just shut down, didn't want to get up, didn't want to go anywhere, didn't want to do anything.
Right.
Didn't care if I was a part of the company or not, or part of decisions.
Yeah.
I was looking for excuses for myself.
Was exactly. Man, that's wild. I can't believe that. And again, I had no clue you were going through it, and I obviously wasn't talking about it to anybody else. Yeah. Because I'm just like, you know what? I'll figure it out. I'll get through it. I'm a man. I'm supposed to.
Right.
Yeah. Give me a break.
Job
right.
to figure it out.
Yeah, it is. That's what we've been taught, right? Right. When in reality, we both have probably one of the greatest partners next to us at all times.
And they got the same name.
And they got the same. I'm going to let them fight over the spelling. I'm not even going to bring that up. But we have partners that will stand by us no matter what we do.
Right.
Right. And even then, both of us, neither one of us will say something to the other one about it.
No, because it feels like we're a failure.
Exactly. We're supposed to be the strong one. We're supposed to be the one in control, the one that all their problems they can talk to us about, and we're supposed to shoulder that and do all that.
Yeah.
Men aren't supposed to have somebody to do that too. No. But we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't think we do.
We don't think we do. We don't, because we've been taught that we don't.
Right.
You know, and that's part of what I want. I want to make people rethink what society truly is.
Rewire.
There you go. Rewire. I want to rewire people at this point.
Yeah.
For the good, for themselves, to know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and like being able to recognize too, I think on our side of it as the spouse, I mean, you recognize it now. There's communication that happens, right? Like he had to ask me, like, are you cussing me out? Or are you just a bit too, right? Like, so communication on that, like when you're having those feelings, I think it's important, because for 13 years, he thought I'm just cussing at him for no reason about everything. Everything's his fault all the time, right? She's never happy. So like communication is going to be huge, I think. But also there was this moment for Ryan, you heard him say earlier that he loves to work, right?
Yeah.
Productive.
No, I'm just going to pause it while the phone rings, because I don't want to cut out something we're saying. It's okay for that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, she's on it. 2 rings. But there is, I mean, you said like you like to be productive, you like to work. Since I've known you, you work for the union. You get home after traveling and work your weekends off to build your business, right? And every year you go through stuff. You're a contractor.
Yeah.
I know it's not specialist industry, but I just feel like we get kicked in the teeth our whole career. And there's stressors that come with that. And I always say to him when he gets stressed out, it's going to be okay. It's always okay, babe. Do you mean like it's always okay?
You know, I'm thinking like, yeah, because I make it okay.
Right. Well, and I know that,
Yeah.
but I want to let him know, like, don't worry about it. Like we always come out on top. We always figure it out. And this year when I would say that to him, I was not getting the same reaction because normally he'd be like, I know.
Yeah.
And this year just kind of like, and like, it wasn't getting him out of his funk.
Yeah. Because he felt like he'd been kicked so hard.
Yeah.
At this point, he's like, what's the point?
Yeah. And the lack of motivation, I think, was the first sign for me that like he was not in a good headspace. Because he's like I said, I want to lay down one day a week and do nothing with you. I want Netflix and chill with you, man. And I mean, he was Netflix.
Damn, bro.
He was finding a reason to Netflix and chill all the time. Do you know what I mean? So
During the work day, during.
It's not the same, man.
Yeah, I would sit down and decompress at 5 o'clock, and he'd be sitting down right next to me. And it was weird and unusual. But luckily, I've had mental illnesses of my own. I've gone through depression where I know that like me strong-arming him isn't going to work. Me being, so I did all of it, and I think towards the end of the year, I always call it the wife card. I'm pulling the wife card, where I said to him, look, I've been kind. I've been understanding. I've been the 80% to your 20%, which is what marriage is, right?
Absolutely.
Marriage is not 50-50. Sometimes you're 80-20. Now he's 80 most of the time, but this year I had to be 80 and he was 20, and that's okay. And I said, but going into next year, I know like there's not a reset button, it's just a day, but we say next year, going into next year, like your mindset has got to be, that happened.
Yeah.
But this year, it's only like positive. You have to snap out. When the alarm goes off and you don't feel like on bed, you literally have to be like, get up. We're getting up. We're putting our feet on the ground. Like, even if it's just waking up when the alarm goes off.
You get one of them giant hands that slap you in the face when the alarm goes off.
All right. Sometimes most of the time I don't even hear my alarm.
He does not.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, are you up or you just sleep through it? Like you don't hear
I
it?
don't even
sleeps through it.
remember turning it off or nothing. It's also most of the time it's when I've just fallen asleep at 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning from laying in bed.
Well, I think the self-talk too, like throughout the year, he was trying to work on things to help him get up. And so his one alarm would go off and it would be like, wake up, stupid, you're going to be late.
Oh, I've heard that.
Right. And I remember saying to him, like, you can't have it say that. Like, your first thing that you hear when you wake up, even if you're not totally awake, is your brain's registering that information. You're like, wake up, stupid. Like, you're starting your day stupid. Right?
It was bum.
Or bum. What? Okay. Okay. So I was like, you have to change that. Like,
I think mine's wake up beautiful.
See?
Yeah.
Maybe I should change that.
You should. It definitely.
Patrick starts every day glamorous.
Yeah, just glamorous.
Glamorous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I did change it though.
No, he did. He did end up changing it, but
No, it's nothing.
yeah. But there are little things like that like can.
You know what's funny about that? My alarm is it's like what is it? It's like bells and like the birds singing in the springtime for my alarm. It's like so soothing, but I used to like wake up to those alarms that would like jolt you and like damn near have a panic. Oh my God, I'd have a heart attack or a panic attack first thing in the morning. It's like, oh, this is not doing any good for me.
Sound.
That's the only ones that wake me up.
Yeah, well, they wake me up, but they jolt me awake. And it's like, now I've got this soothing kind of, hey, beautiful. Not really, but.
Get up, gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. Get up, gorgeous.
Something more soothing.
It helps. Makes a difference.
I'll try it tomorrow.
You two are the best friends I've ever met. All right.
What? Are we still talking? What?
Yeah. Do you want to add
Answer
anything
your-
else to that?
I don't even remember what we were talking
You had other questions? Do you have other questions?
No, I don't. I know. I actually, I'm sitting here thinking about what he went through this summer, and I actually know the time that you snapped out of it. I remember the time that he snapped out of it, but I had no idea that he was snapping out of it. But now talking about it makes total sense when you snapped out. It's weird that I can put all this together now. And I'm like, why didn't I see that? Because even I didn't see it. And I deal with this stuff on a daily basis. So that's how easy it is for people to hide this stuff.
Yes.
They put on this false smile and you think everything's great and their life is perfect, when in reality, they could be struggling with some of the most hardest times that they've ever had.
Yeah.
But they're still going to put on that same face. They're still going to put on that smile. They're still going to show up to work, and they're going to tell you that they're fine.
Yeah.
It's our job.
The biggest lie told is when a guy says, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Good.
When you ask him, how you doing, man? He says, I'm fine. He's telling you right then and there, I'm not doing good, bro. I don't know. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what's going on. When a man says I'm fine, he's hurting.
Oh, yeah.
So always remember that. I mean, anybody listening to this, you have a friend or something and he always answers with, I'm fine. No, he's not. Dig deep and figure out. Dig deep and figure it out.
Yeah.
Help him through it.
Yeah.
Help her through it. Help whoever it is through it.
Well, I think that's the thing too, is people are like, well, I asked how you were doing. But like,
Did
everybody at the gas station attendant asked me how I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a very like blanketed, like,
I'm not going to come out and tell you what's going on until you prod and poke and make me come out and say it.
Yeah, especially about stuff like that. Could you imagine if every time we asked somebody how they were, they just unloaded every feeling that they've ever had? Nobody would ask you that anymore. And it's such like a thing you say, right? Like, how are you doing? I'm good. You know, like, is it do you really want to know?
Right. You know, it's a greeting, and I get that.
Yeah.
Most people be like, I'm doing good. But when your best friend, your ride or die, your wife, your husband, somebody comes up to you and says, you doing okay? That's your time.
Yeah.
Say what you need to say.
Yeah.
Don't just say, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because, guys, I'm telling you, I've been there. Ryan, you've been there. We're not fine.
Yeah.
We're putting on a smile. We're putting on a show.
Yeah.
And we just don't know how to ask for help.
Or do we want to?
Oh, we want to.
I don't know about me.
You're still stubborn. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it because you don't actually want the help, or because you've never been offered that, or you didn't know like it could be a thing for you?
True.
I think it's more of my personality. I don't like asking for help, and I don't like other people knowing my personal life.
I know.
Other than maybe not even you sometimes. Like
Whoa.
feelings.
Come again?
My feelings. Like what's going on in my feelings.
Oh yeah, I mean you're definitely not to
like
begin with
my
an emotional
life.
Okay, but so let's talk about that.
No.
Yes.
He says
That
no.
has we're not going to talk into detail, but that has a lot to do with the way that you were raised.
True.
You were raised to believe that men, like most men are raised, right? We
Yeah.
don't have emotions, you don't cry, you don't like you're just tough, get over it.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll be honest, I probably raised my kids to be the same way.
Yeah, rub some dirt in it. And you want that from I raise boys. We raise boys, right? I want my sons to be manly. I want them to not be emotional, but
Yeah.
Have emotions.
understand emotions.
Right.
Where someone like Ryan and
I'm not giving them a cry space or a safe space. I'm not building that for them.
Right. And nobody's asking for that. But when
Right.
you are going through something, it is okay to express that to people, specifically people that
100%.
you trust.
Absolutely.
Like your spouses and your best friends. And
Yes.
if your friend does not meet you with the best, I mean, even if it's an honest, I've never gone through this, I don't know, but man, I'm here as an ear for you.
Yeah.
If they don't meet you with something like that and they completely like kind of just close you off because they don't know how to deal with it, not the person you should be talking to about it. And you should probably reevaluate that friendship.
So I don't have many friends.
Okay, hang on. I don't know that you should reevaluate the friendship.
If they're not willing to like they just don't.
Maybe that's not the friendship. Maybe that's just not that person. There are people that are just like, I don't even know how to listen to, music. I mean, there are some people that could be the greatest friend in the world, will give you anything off their back. But when you go, hey man, I have a problem, they're like, yeah, do you need money or do you need a ride? That's what I offer. I don't know what else to offer. I don't know how to offer emotional support. I can offer you money. Can we go buy this? Can we get it? Can we get it bought?
Yeah.
Can we fix this with something?
Yeah. But even
physical?
that's them offering a solution in
Sure.
their capacity, right?
Sure.
But if you have a friend that doesn't really want to hear about it, or you express how you feel, and then maybe they listen the first time, but then they don't come do a follow up with you.
I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a little
Brush
different.
it off.
yeah, they kind of brush it off because it makes them uncomfortable. Like,
Right.
when you're a friend, you have to be uncomfortable. Like, that's part of being a good friend, is to be there for that person.
Yeah.
If my friend jumps off a bridge, I can't say that. I'm not jumping in after you. I'll send you a boat.
I'll jump.
You'll jump?
I'll jump off the bridge.
All right.
But
Well, I'm not jumping anytime soon, so you don't have to jump in
Or
after
even if
me.
you want to do it for fun.
Oh, funsies?
Yeah. No.
We got to find deep water, man. I've watched too many videos of people jumping into creeks off of bridges, and I'm like, why would you do that?
No, I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna have somebody else jump first. Then we can. Then we'll jump.
That's jumping 101 right there.
Ryan's like, I'm a leader, not a follower. I don't lead the charge. I support it, and then I follow through.
Right.
That's perfect.
And make sure it's safe.
Yes, make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
Well, we got any more for this? Are you ready to wrap it up?
Ready to wrap it up? You gonna do our?
Go ahead. You do it. I did the last one.
I did the last. I was saying the same thing.
Oh, okay.
We the people.
All right. Well, Ryan, thank you for being our guest today. I'm sure we'll see more of you, and we have to have you back with Ashley and do a whole relationship combo marriage thing. Guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Mental Mismanagement, where perfection is for losers, and we're just winging it out.
God, I love that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. Until next time.
That was easy.
See, and you totally